work to do across this country to remove public safety risk, we shouldn't even be in this country. And to deliver on President Trump's promise for strong border security and mass deportation, law enforcement officers drawn down from this surge operation will either return to the duty stations or be signed elsewhere to achieve just that.
Now, one poster said the following: they made one of the classic blunders of all time. Never fight a land war in Minnesota, especially in the winter. Now, Donald Trump is ranting and raving like a lunatic this morning after admitting defeat. And Donald Trump is praising Pam Bondi for her performance during what I believe and what you believe and what almost everybody else believes was the worst testimony ever for the cover-up of the Epstein sex trafficking files and the Epstein sex trafficking cabal that now is centered 1600 Pennsylvania. Here's what Donald Trump writes: AG Pam Bondi, under intense fire from the Trump-deranged radical left lunatics, was fantastic at yesterday's hearing on the never-ending saga of Jeffrey Epstein, where the one thing that has been proven conclusively, much to their chagrin, was that President Donald Trump has been 100% exonerated of their ridiculous Russia-type charges. What the hell are you saying? The Russia-type charges? I don't know what you've been talking about. Actually, it is slimeball Democrats, many of them big donors and politicians that have been proven guilty. Republican loser, sanctimonious rhino Congressman Thomas Massey made a total fool of himself yesterday, fighting aimlessly against a hopeless agenda of hate and stupidity, as most clearly stated by his crashing Trump approval numbers. He's wacky Liz Cheney territory. Nobody cared about Epstein, he said when he was alive. You did. You said he was a good guy who likes girls on the younger side. They only cared about him when they thought he could create political harm to a very popular president who brought our country back. You are the least popular in presidential history. 37%, and sinking even more because you're covering up child sex trafficking, and you're doing it here in this post. He goes on to say it's backfiring badly. Maybe they should focus on their quest to open our borders to the world's greatest criminals, have transgender for everyone, or get men, no matter what their size or strength, play women's sports. Abracadabra, I'm just going to say these things about men playing women's sports, and then everybody's going to go and say, aha, we're not going to remember that you're covering up a child sex trafficking ring. Oh, and then Donald Trump, whenever he's doing those types of posts, he then posts a photo of Melania.
Yes or no?
Melania's in the files. Melania calls Elaine G, and then she calls Melania Sweet Pea. You know, and they talk about how great the New York Magazine article was, where Trump said that Epstein liked girls on the younger side. But here's what Trump posts about Melania from one of his right-wing propaganda outlets called Just the News. The First Lady was asked an array of questions, including her favorite sport, taste in music, and whether she is a queen. Whether she is a queen. That's what Americans want to hear right now, who are psychologically tortured living paycheck to paycheck. Downward job revisions in 2025 by about 1 million. No jobs basically were created in all of 2025. People can't afford homes. They can't afford to pay their rent. Healthcare has been ripped away. Prices are surging. And Melania's the queen. And Pam Bondi did great. And golden ballrooms and triumphant arches, everybody. Come on. Come on. Now I'll share with you this. Governor Walz of Minnesota addressed the Trump regime's surrender there. And he said, look, the damage and destruction you have all caused in this state is frankly unfathomable. And you should all have to pay for the harm that you've inflicted. Play this clip.
The federal government needs to pay for what they broke here.
There are going to be accountability on the things that happen, but one of the things that will be incredible immense costs that were borne by the people of this state, the federal government needs to be responsible. You don't get to bring things that leave without doing something about it. So we're going to be asking the federal delegation to be investing and doing the things necessary. We have been in contact with federal leadership as a negotiation is happening right now on DHS funding and all of the things that we have an expectation, whether it be the investigations, whether it be going forward, no masks, because this, I got to tell you, one of the things that I'm in contact with a lot of my colleagues, both at the federal level with the Senate and the House, but especially governors, I don't want these folks showing up somewhere else and doing this. So the changes that need to be made, the investments that need to come back, they need to show, they being the federal government and they being this administration, they need to do more. But I'm not going to hold my breath that the federal government's going to do the right thing. What I am going to do is I'm going to bet on the people of this state. And when we come into this legislative session, an expectation is there should be a bipartisan effort to protect these businesses, to protect what we have in Minnesota, to make changes here to improve this state. That should be pretty easy. And I think we've seen just some of the data surrounding this. There's very few things in this state that are more unpopular than what just happened to us. And there's few things that are more popular
that's the movie where they show you instead of saying he looked the way they show you. He literally looked the other way. That's what it means. When niggas doing crime, he just looked the other way.
You had Governor Kevin Stitt of Oklahoma stand up to Trump, if you want to even call it that. He canceled the Governor Association trip to Washington, D.C. because Donald Trump refused to acknowledge the existence of Democratic governors as part of the annual event. So Governor Stitt said, well, it's a bipartisan governor's event, so we're not going to be able to go to D.C. this year because we're only going to do an event in Washington, D.C. with the Republicans. And then Donald Trump starts attacking Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt for being bipartisan and saying, well, all governors should be involved in the Governors Association's annual meetings. And here is what Donald Trump posted. Remember, it was Rhino Governor Kevin Stitt of Oklahoma who was massively behind his opponent in a previous election.
The point of this saying is to show you how crooked the police was. They was letting this shit happen.
Like a grown-up.
While everybody else wondering how they getting away with all these bank robberies. There was no cops around. Yeah, they was.
From that Bondi hearing that Donald Trump says is great. And I think I think this is symbolic of everything. Like, if you think that is great, Bondi, and you believe America is great, it's like a logic game that we used to do when studying for the LSAT. If Bondi great, and you say America great, then really bad, because Bondi was objectively the worst, not from any even political perspective. I mean, as she was up there covering up for the child sex trafficking ring, implicating the Department of Justice as a racketeering enterprise, covering up the most vicious and vile sex crimes of children, rape of underage girls imaginable, and then she would say, but the Dow is 50,000, the S&P is at 7,000. Look at my burn book, everybody. The two strongest questions, I believe, there were some good questions all around, I thought, but Congresswoman Becca Balint, Democratic Congresswoman, I think just did a incredible job. Here, play this clip.
To know, how's the Justice Department Secretary Lutnick about his ties to Epstein?
File your taxes 100% free in the app. If you didn't file with us last year, just file with TurboTax Do It Yourself by February 28th. So back to the tax equation. Make the switch to TurboTax Do It Yourself. File free by February 28th.
And she went back to try to apply and ended up trying to hold me to.
Secretary Lutnick has addressed those ties himself. I'm asking you, has the Justice Department specifically asked Secretary Lutnick about his ties to Jeffrey Epstein? He has addressed those ties himself. Has the DOJ asked Secretary Phelan about his ties to Jeffrey Epstein? I don't know whether he has addressed those or not. Has the Deputy Secretary Feinberg talked to the Department of Justice about his ties to Jeffrey Epstein? Yes or no? Has the Department of Justice talked to Deputy Secretary Feinberg about his ties to Jeffrey Epstein, which are clearly spelled out?
It's
a very simple question. It's not a trick question. I'm just asking
No,
you.
where'd you read it at?
I'm stunned that you want to continue talking about. Oh my gosh, okay.
The police don't gotta help you. If you call the police and they don't show up, you can't sue their ass for not showing up.
Okay,
So that
so
means they don't
where
gotta
is? We have evidence. Do you know senior? We have evidence that three
No, if you pay
senior
for a limo
officials
driver,
within
that
the Trump
nigga works for
administration
you.
have
So that
ties
mean if
to
he
Jeffrey
don't show
Epstein.
up, you can sue
And
that
what I
nigga.
can
If you pay a contractor, a lawnmower, they all work for you. A
that you have not talked to
landscaper,
them.
if they
What
don't
does
show
tile
up,
mean?
you can
I
sue
think
them.
Americans
The
would be
police,
shocked
if they don't show up, you can't sue them. So that means they don't
that
work
you
for
are not
you.
interested in talking with these officials who have ties to Jeffrey Epstein. Five trips in the world. And you have been exposed in the files,
Sue a nigga for
have
not
resigned
doing
their
his
jobs
job.
in praise.
Y'all didn't
And
have
that's a
no
good first
agreement,
start.
bro.
And that same standard, not saying this same standard should apply here. Americans want accountability. Who is Chris Mullins? Please stop talking. It is not your time to ask questions.
And then you had Democratic Congress member Nagoose. Here, let's play this clip right here.
General Bondi, 6 days ago, you posted online, quote, "If you come for law enforcement, Trump administration will come for you," end quote. I want to show you just a brief video. It's about 30 seconds. I'll ask you a couple questions about it.
Disgusting. Stop them. You can't see it. See some attention, right? Attention.
He's hot. Keep riding it.
Shame on you.
We'll be back for the second half of the game right after this. Taking a look at Oklahoma.
General Bondi,
I think we know at this
that man works for you now, right?
and that is not very good.
Who was that, Congressman?
And talking
The man in that video, the one who was in the police-worn body cam footage,
She got
the
nice
one
as
allegedly
hell.
yelling "kill him" at police officers on January 6th.
Send you back to Kevin Harlan.
His name is Jared Wise.
He does work for us.
He works for you at the Department of Justice.
He does.
This is an individual whom a federal grand jury indicted for 2 felonies and 4 misdemeanors related to his participation in the attack on January 6th. One of those charges was forcibly assaulting, resisting, opposing, impeding, intimidating, and interfering with police with the intent to commit another felony. This is who you choose as the chief law enforcement officer of the United States of America to hire at the Department of Justice. Someone on video
not having no electricity was
yelling "kill him" at police officers.
Right? I believe he was pardoned by President Trump.
Oh, he was pardoned. You're right. You're right. Pardoned by President Trump for his offense. Pardoned for yelling "kill him" at police officers. And yet you expect hardworking police officers across the country to believe that you take law enforcement seriously. You can imagine the reaction. So many folks across the country hearing the chief law enforcement officer of the United States refuse to even condemn what that individual whom you've now hired did.
But, you know, turning to the hearing that was taking place this morning in the United States Senate, I'll do a more fulsome video on this. We have Senator Rand Paul, Republican Senator Rand Paul, at this hearing on the ICE and Border Patrol Gestapo's attacks on Minnesota. You have Rand Paul questioning these ICE officials. And, you know, look, this is where I say this shouldn't be a political issue. I mean, mostly every other Republican was out there attacking Attorney General Ellison and others and saying, it's your fault what happened to Preti. It's your fault what happened to Renee Nicole. What are you talking? It's your fault. You encouraged their First Amendment rights to protest peacefully. It's your fault. But Rand Paul, in this instance, says it like it is. Here's what Rand Paul has to say. Here, play this clip. So there were people who said, and they were part of the government, I don't think they were interviewed, but part of DHS and part of the administration said that, yes, the officers were using de-escalation tactics. Nobody believes that. All right? I'm just going to stipulate that. I don't even need your opinion on that. No one in America believes shoving that woman's head in the face in the snow was de-escalation. Your officers need to know they had a verbal encounter with them. She did not place her hands on the officers. She wasn't trying to get their weapon. It's not great. I mean, I don't like to see these encounters either. But is it appropriate for the officers to respond to a verbal barrage of words or whatever? Is it proper to physically throw a woman down or throw anyone down?
If the only action is verbal, no.
Yeah, that's what I want to hear.
Yes. Correct, sir. Same answer.
All right. Do you have another point on this before we move? Here's another clip from Rand Paul. Let's play it. With Alexander Preddy. He's filming in the middle of the street. We see two women that are, as you watch the video, jawboning, complaining, protesting, yelling, maybe not being nice, but they're protesting away. Let's keep the videos. And so my question to Mr. Scott first is yelling at ICE officers or Border Patrol, is that a form of domestic assault on the officers?
No, sir.
Mr. Lyons?
No, sir, it's not.
Is filming of ICE or Border Patrol either an assault or a crime in any way, Mr. Scott?
No, sir.
Mr. Lyons?
No, sir.
I mean, they have really hit their stride in terms of that transition game. No doubt about it. They are playing at a great pace. Zubats kicks to Williams.
Let's roll up. Go ahead.
Finally, I'm going to show this clip right here of Governor Walz from his press conference earlier today. And this brought a tear to my eye where he talked about how now a core memory of children in his state is going to be family members being ripped away, mass agents, evading their city, their state.
He just
running
sending
things
their
and
ass
doing it right. We follow law, we do it right, we provide more federal dollars. And in my opinion, this auto-allotment around what Congress has appropriated, the law says Minnesota should get. The president is arbitrarily, his cabinet secretaries are arbitrarily holding that money. So back to this first question to end on, this about what DHS reform should do. We are pushing our congressional allies, and I would think the Republicans in this, before any deal is made with DHS funding, all of them need to quit this assault of, and again, I will use the president's word, retribution against Minnesota. Not because we have more undocumented people, not because of any reason other than he decided that this is a state they would try and make an example of. And look, I'm treading a pretty fine line here. He picked the wrong state to make an example of. And that is where things set today. So we'll see over the next few days. We are in a trust but verified base. My word to Minnesota is, again, we're certainly not going to celebrate something that should have never happened. But I will say this, please keep, at this point in time, stay hyper vigilant. I'm afraid over these next few days with some of these folks leaving that the potential for an incident like we saw up here near the cathedral with this chase yesterday, what we don't need is some horrific thing happening on the way out. But I will say, as we started on this in the hours after the murder of Renee, is express your constitutional rights, stand up for your neighbors, speak out when you need to speak out, do so peacefully, because as I said then, and every one of you proved, the fact is, at the end of the day, that will win out. That is the way a democracy should be. That we would get to a point where they would say, we're leaving. But today is about a lot of destruction over those weeks, a lot of damage, a lot of trust has been eroded. A lot, as I said, we've got children that a core memory for them will be their classmate being taken away. And that will stick with them the rest of their lives. And my hope is what sticks with them matters. That arc of the moral universe is bending towards justice, and we are under no illusions that it will magically happen itself. All of what we're talking about today was went into Minnesota, and it was Minnesota citizens, I'll say it again, nameless, faceless folks who endured whatever it took to make a difference. So our work is beginning here. We'll do the recovery, encouraging the legislative leaders to get ready for a recovery session. And my certainly on this is these proposals, and let's get this money to these businesses and get back to normal.
There you have it, folks. Everybody hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million subscribers. Thanks everybody for watching, and we'll keep you posted throughout the day. Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MidasPlus.com.
Man, he need to get on time with the grind,
How
man.
to play Fortnite on your phone. Are you still searching like this?
That's
Click the link below the video to get the free mobile app. Play now.
I believe his name has appeared countless times over the document. And if I could reading the stat.
You know, folks, in these trying times of utter depravity and industrial scale incompetence from our federal government, it really seems like the only institution we can trust for true justice is the internet. In fact, making the visit to Jeffrey Epstein's private island.
I did have lunch with him as I was on a boat going across on a family vacation.
Yes. I was on the sex island.
Hell yeah. Fucking right. All right. Seeing how our elected officials across the board have made of Epstein's crimes.
I got Jaden the game.
Shielding his enablers,
I got
accomplices.
this Mexican nigga, Joaquin Phoenix here, looks like the figure. I got Jada Ivy. Who is this?
Almost no one has faced any kind of consequences for this whole thing.
So he got a couple shooters around him, you know? That's a big dog getting bored.
Whether it's Democrats in Congress doing
These niggas hitting threes. I think he's cool. He's getting there. I appreciate it, man. I drafted them boys myself. And I got a couple pieces out of free agency after last season.
That is the sorry state of our representative government. I think it's high time that we as a society, and especially we, as a
I don't know what happened to Westbrook. I think that nigga retired on
billionaire pedo-fascist regime here at Really American, do our part. The noise, especially the heroes, make the difference in the class war, in the last frontier for free speech, the internet. Like last time, folks, I have tons of memes and internet protests for you, so stick around. Stay a while. Check out this similar one. We'll have you watch this. And yeah, after you watch this, I'm being serious. Click on and let's this little campaign from him where she has a strikingly different than she did today. It's almost like
you should win a championship.
Oh no, my record already messed up. That's why I got these niggas. I got them because my team was messed up. I traded a Seward Thompson and not a Seward, yeah, Seward and I traded both of the Thompsons, bro, Seward and Clay. And I got Jaden Ivy and Cam Thomas. And then I got Jaden McDaniels and Joshua Jr. at the free agency.
And then you wait like 5 days and we mail it to your house. Check out Cox. Wanting to get Brian.
You gotta go on a 20-game winning streak.
I don't know. Probably shouldn't lose one more games unless I turn the setting up because it gets too easy. Because now I'm starting to get used to shooting twos on Superstar, so All-Star or whatever this is all. I just said.
So you're saying we can all build apps now?
It's on All Stars, so if I start dogging niggas too bad, I'm gonna have to move it up.
Right.
But it's close right now. I mean, it don't seem like I gotta try hard though. I was thinking about moving it up, but I'm not winning by a lot, so if I move it up, I'll probably start losing, but I'm hitting threes with Ja, like that shit not normal, so I probably gotta move it up.
He's going to take a minute here to get things straightened out. And let's get your take, guys. What's the strategy? Trying to stay alive.
Or stick your nose up its rectum for sustenance.
That's right, sir. We won't let any harm come to the baby of the greatest president that ever
Let me not say threes. I hit 1 3. I was surprised, but it was perfect. He was open and regular.
Nick is not a name everyone knows, though they should, given his figurative and literal proximity to Jeffrey Epstein. Commerce Secretary and dad of a family staying at the White Lotus. Now, a while back, he went on a podcast, and he explained how he lived next door to Jeffrey Epstein, went to his house once in 2005, got hit, and never saw him again.
My wife and I decided that I will never be in the room with that disgusting person ever again. One, be done.
Yeah, turns out that was a fucking lie. Here's a fun, palatable internet comparison.
Yeah, just if I leave it right here, it'll be some real NBA looking games and shit. It ain't gonna be a whole bunch of threes, but I can hit the motherfuckers and shit. And then it's gonna be a whole bunch. It's gonna be a whole bunch of that shit you looking at for niggas jaw done for
On a family vacation?
Yes, it was on the sex line.
Stuff. My wife was with me, as were my 4 children and nannies. I had another couple.
I just needed some niggas that hit some threes. So, you know, Ja can't keep up with the other team. That's by 2.
That is true. For an hour.
If Ja can't score, I could always give it to Wendy, bro. He gonna get you there, bro. He gonna dunk on anybody.
I don't
If
recall
we
why
need more than 2, I'll be screwed. I'll be hoping somebody foul Wendy on the dunk or something. But man, I don't know. I feel like I got a real nigga
There's no
squad.
way that 7 years after saying he would never see Epstein. Set this guy straight.
I did have lunch with him as I was on a boat going across on a
I
family.
wanna like this nigga so bad, but he be acting gay, bro. He act like a Dennis Rodman ass nigga, bro.
As were my 4 children and nannies.
Jeremy Sohan out there with Victor
I don't think he got no points ever, bro. Like 2 on the layup or
File your own taxes 100% free in the Credit Karma app by February 28th. If you didn't file with TurboTax last year,
I'm gonna get that nigga
tax
some
situation,
bucks this game.
file your taxes free with
I don't
TurboTax in the
think that
Credit
nigga
Karma
can
app
shoot
now.
from nowhere. Yeah, I don't think that nigga can shoot, bro, from nowhere. Not even a free throw. I'm about to try to get this nigga a bucket.
Thanks to check out Chief Fiber.
Doncic against Moran. Now here's Ivy. Nice ball movement by Oklahoma City.
It is.
Shot clock at 6.
The same people who needed spiritual tirade. Right? Just Epstein.
No, what are you doing, y'all?
Intellectual dishonesty.
So it's Oklahoma City now. It's a 3-point game. Here's Wembanyama.
or at least was tangentially aware of and did nothing to stop, but actually significantly benefited from, on top of his creepy comments about girls and women and his own daughter, on top of his past criminal behavior. It's so reality-breakingly stupid to defend that man that I think anyone who does should just go live in their happy little MAGA augmented reality simulation for the rest of their miserable lives and let the rest of us fix this broken as fuck system and society. And for those in the middle, I think it's time to wake up and recognize this. There are so many people who just don't have the time, willingness, or mental capacity, arguably by design in many cases, to actually be as informed about things as they should. Especially when major media outlets, even the not Fox News ones, paint everything as sides issues and give airtime to pretty shit takes, even when it's not directly lying or propaganda like Fox. These are your independent or your apolitical types that just don't have time for politics, or they can't change anything, so why should they care? And then you add in them getting sucked into these echo chambers that I'd argue a large portion of these people are not aware that they're being funneled into. And it's just a concocted shit show of misinformative dribble that completely dilutes any real understanding of what's going on, which again, as evidence clearly in the Epstein files and Steve Bannon's strategizing with Epstein for Trump and MAGA's rise is entirely by design. You've been played. You fell for it. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, don't get fucking fooled again. And I would argue that being skeptical and adequately informed is one of the largest and most consequential forms of peaceful protest possible. I apologize for coming off preachy. I don't apologize for my passion, because I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this system, and I am sick of the people in power that have enabled it for decades now. People on the right, I'm begging with you. Hear me out. See the points here. Donald Trump hasn't fixed the economy. Donald Trump has protected these pedos. Oh, but the Democrats, why didn't the Democrats release the files? Well, and I'm going to hold your hand as I say this to you, because prior to Donald Trump's administration, there was a thing called separation of powers. You might remember it as one of the core principles this country was fucking founded on. If not, maybe it's time to open up a history book. Although if you don't know that at this point, you probably need Hooked on Phonics first. Sorry, I couldn't help myself, but take my hand again. Under Joe Biden, Merrick Garland was the Attorney General. Am I pissed that he didn't release these files? Absolutely. Are other Democrats Joe Biden? Remember that there's a simple argument for why it didn't happen and why Joe Biden and the Democrats aren't entirely at fault. And I'm not a fan of the Democrats personally. Prior to Donald Trump, the executive branch and the judicial branch were supposed to be separate entities and were for a large part. Joe Biden did not want to come off as doing what Trump did and dismantling all of the core principles of our Constitution that you guys really love to defend and then instantly shit on all the time. And so he didn't push Merrick Garland and make the Department of Justice essentially a branch of his executive. Can you say the same for Trump? You guys complained for years about how Trump was being victimized by the weaponization of the Department of Justice. It was all over Fox News. You guys had a field day with it, despite the fact that all of his criminal cases had verdicts handed down by grand juries. I'm sorry to give you this tough love, but you guys have become the snowflakes and the cancellation people that you so complained about previously. When did the right become such f***ing pussies? Remember what you hated about liberals? Oh, perpetually offended, safe spaces, censoring free speech, culture of victimhood.
No.
What do you know of anyone? I can't go 15 minutes without listening to country music. I need a separate show. Oh, that stinger triggered me. I can't swim. And you've been so brainwashed by the type of identity politics that Steve Bannon literally told Jeffrey Epstein were needed to rehabilitate his image and allow him to get away with this stuff and get Donald Trump in power, that you've completely lost sight of the side that you should be fighting for. That being the side of the people, the working class, the non-billionaire
pedophile elites. Is that really the hill you want to die on? Or have you sunk so far that you will now bootlick for Jeffrey Epstein and his accomplices? Please fucking ask yourself that. It's despicable and disgusting, and I really hope those people come around. Oh, Jesus Christ, if you made it this far, if you fucking care anymore, if you're tired of this shit, I don't care where you are on the political spectrum, just fucking help us out here. Let me know your thoughts, leave a comment, drop a like, because the only way we win this is together, collectively. If you're tired of the traditional means of voting your conscience or calling your elected representatives, not working, not making any real difference, then join the resistance here to keep it peaceful but be powerful by being informed. By not falling prey to the bullshit facades and psyops and brain rot that these people are throwing at us day in and day out. We can disagree about a lot of stuff, but this. Anyway, I'm Kenny S. I'll see you guys in the next one.
Now a local tax expert will do your taxes for $150 all in. They know your situation, from self-employment to W-2s. Pay only $150 to get your taxes done by a local expert.
Think you're good at games? Bobby will break you, and you'll love every second of it. These insane obstacle courses push your patience, leading a skill to the absolute limit. One wrong move and you're back to square one, but that next perfect jump feels like victory. Addictive, brutal, and impossible to quit. Are you ready to prove yourself? Play now on PlayGama.com.
Welcome to Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. On Capitol Hill, Democratic lawmakers grilled Attorney General Pam Bondi on the Justice Department handling of the Epstein files. Democratic Congressmember Pramila Jayapal asked survivors who were sitting in the audience to stand up before she challenged Bondi to apologize to them for the Justice Department failure to fully redact their names in the Epstein files. Bondi declined. Throughout the hearing, she insulted Democrats on the House Judiciary Committee and heaped praise on President Trump as she repeatedly dodged accusations she's perpetuating a cover-up and ignoring the victims. This is part of an exchange between Bondi and New York Democratic Congressmember Jerry Nadler.
So I really have just one question for you. How many of Epstein's co-conspirators have you indicted? How many perpetrators are you even investigating?
First, you showed it. I find it.
How many have you indicted?
Excuse me. I'm going to answer the question.
Answer my question.
No, I'm going to answer the question the way I want to answer the question.
No,
Your
you can answer
reactions
the
are
question the way I
ridiculous.
asked it.
Chairman Jordan, I'm not going to get in the gutter with these people, but I'm going to answer the question.
How many?
A Reuters photographer at the hearing captured images of Attorney General Bondi with a printout of Congressmember Jayapal's history of searches of the Justice Department's database of the Epstein files, which was just open to Congress members to review. Congressmember Jayapal blasted Bondi on social media, writing, quote, "It's totally inappropriate and against the separations of powers for the DOJ to surveil us as we search the Epstein files." Bondi showed up today with a burning book that held a printed search history of exactly what emails I searched. That is outrageous, and I intend to pursue this and stop this spying on members, unquote. We'll speak with Congressmember Jayapal later in the broadcast, as well as Vermont Congressmember Becca Balint. She walked out of the hearing after Bondi accused her of being anti-Semitic. Congressmember Balint's grandfather died in the Holocaust. President Trump held a private meeting at the White House for nearly 3 hours on Wednesday with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
After the discussions, Trump said nothing definitive had been decided. His visit came just days after U.S. and Iranian officials held indirect talks in Oman amidst Trump's persistent threats to once again bomb Iran. It was Netanyahu's sixth trip to the United States since Trump retook the White House just over a year ago. More on Netanyahu's visit after headlines with Middle East analyst Mouin Rabbani. We'll talk about Iran, about Israel, about the occupied territories.
What's up, guys? AJ Brown. We're here today during the big game week to rip some packs and check out box, man. Let's go.
You said what, bitch?
How long you got this?
Hello, welcome to another installment of NNN where we give it to you straight, no chase. Let's get right into it. Super Bowl Sunday was yesterday. Bad Bunny
I'm gonna let Coach stop coming to halftime, see if they come out acting like
me. Like he's just saying, Trump. Beautifully done. Every Latin-speaking country on earth tuned in and enjoyed it. I enjoyed it myself. They had some big booty Latin bitches, and that's always a joy to look at. Also, the game wasn't. When the halftime performance is better than the goddamn game, you know, because, you know, the New England, they took a turn, you know, it was a defensive battle, but, you know, defenses win championships, but I'd like to see more offense myself. But anyway, they had a couple of touchdowns in the fourth, and that was that. But the game had been over before halftime. Oh, yeah, and did you see the commercials? Exactly. They wasn't either. The commercials wasn't. This is the anus Super Bowl that I've ever witnessed, except for the halftime. Other than that, it just wasn't. It was just one big pile of. And what happened to Where's the Beef? Should have brought that old bitch back if she's still alive. Waste of star power. Y'all see that giant burger with the bone in it? Okay, that ain't no burger. That's a dinosaur bone. Bad Bunny just set a record for the most watched halftime performance in NFL history with 30 plus million viewers. NNN crew trying to tell me that this is news because Chris Brown said they need him at the Super Bowl. And some of us taking it as a slight towards Bad Bunny. I don't think it was a slight. I think the boy just anxiously wants to put together a halftime performance of his own. Yeah, he just mentioned Bad Bunny, but motherfuckers online always trying to call some kind of beef because that's what it's about, beefing. So we'll be right back after these motherfuckers come up with some real stories. Oh yeah, they just told me Cardi B and Stephon, what's the Diggs? Yeah, Stephon Diggs broke up during the same. It's not news either, but they broke up during the Super Bowl. Get y'all together. I'd like to formally apologize to any Mexican, anybody on earth that Donald Trump is. Truly, I'm sorry. Because this motherfucker gonna post a picture of my favorite president as a monkey, as a gorilla. That don't get no more racist than that. You trying to take us back to the 1700s, but it ain't gonna work, motherfucker. You just turn us on. Because if anybody is like a monkey, it's you. I ain't never seen a monkey with an afro. But I seen a lot of monkeys with straight hair just like you white peoples. I ain't never seen a nigga with hair on their back. But a lot of you motherfuckers got fur. So, and stop the bullshit. You shave a monkey, it's pink.
It's a license and big dog.
Lips. I ain't never seen no monkey with no big lips. We'll be right back after this commercial break. You racist son of a bitch. Trump is also suing the IRS. He's suing the government that he's in charge of. This motherfucker's just a petty son of a bitch.
Did you see that Trump is suing the government tonight? He thought that nobody was going to see this. $10 billion is what he wants from the IRS for allegedly leaking his tax returns more than a decade ago. He runs the federal government. The DOJ that he's going to be working with to do this is him. He's negotiating with himself. So when he settles with himself, he will be dictating his own payout. $10 billion of your money to his pockets. It's a scam.
Soon, because they released his tag records, was it like 10 years ago? They had the right to release it. You were under investigation, a felon. So, your rights have been stripped. So, and you just didn't want nobody to see that you just a, guess what, you just a, hey, Ted. I seen you. Bill Clinton. He calls for a public hearing on the Jeffrey Epstein testimony and trial. I think Bill is calling the Republican and Donald Trump's bluff. You know the motherfuckers don't want to do this publicly because they all in it. Nice play, Bill, because that's the only way you and Hillary ain't gonna get it. It's just by saying, let's do it publicly, because none of you motherfuckers want this to go public. Call for it because they want to do it behind scenes so they can turn you into a circus. And then blame all the Epstein on the Clintons. Smart move, Bill. Smart move. Let's see if it works. Welcome back to NNN, where we give it to you straight, no chaser. This keeps getting sicker and sicker and sicker. We have a real-life vampire. This motherfucker wants to suck old tampons. Yeah, he don't want no fresh blood. He want that old dead blood. He want to suck tampons and eat the motherfucking pads like cherry pies. You don't believe me? Check it out.
That's why it's about $60,000 for the age. Yeah, if you have a portion, that's very valuable. Medical course, and placenta, your period blood is so rich with stem cells. And regarded as waste that it actually should be. It should be captured as recycled. And it shouldn't go to waste.
That's after he get done with the tampon, he can use the string to floss his fangs. And all he want is black period. Because that shit got magical. You know that black girl magic they were talking about? Yeah, it's got the magic. He want the stem cells, he want the placenta, he want the afterbirth. J. Cole was seen selling his brand new album, The Fall Off, out of the trunk of his old bucket. Yeah, that's nostalgia. That's a look back. But also it's a play, because now that everything is digitized and they can rob you digitally, go back to print CDs, print them your damn self, sell them out your goddamn trunk. You go platinum, keep all the money. We'll be right back after this. See, when they go forward, we go back. When they go back, we go forward. That's how you do it. Adrian Peterson was fighting at a poker game. Yeah. If y'all want to call that a fight, we'll be right back after this commercial break. This Black History Month, some children went viral, just showing off their natural, beautiful black hair. Not monkey hair, black hair. Check it out.
Get on them, y'all. Oh my goodness.
In other news, the Ring camera around and told on themselves. They are connected to the government agencies. If you lose your dog, they can just check out every Ring camera in your neighborhood to see who took your dog and where your dog's in the house at. That means they can see what you're doing, where you're going, every motherfucking time you enter and exit your goddamn property. Get rid of them rings. Get rid of them rings. We without them. What the f*** you need a Ring camera for? Stop shopping at Amazon. Go to the store, motherfucker. And nobody can steal your package. This woman has been selling her farts in a jar, and she sold out within minutes.
This woman just started selling jars of her own farts for 237 pounds, which is $300 US, and they've already sold out.
Only in America. Ain't Donald Trump. You can sell them diapers. Hey, Sam, go get me some jars. $300 a put mine on sale. Go give me some jars. Exclusive Eddie Grill farts. Link in the bio. '76. That's the age of Nature Boy Ric Flair. He's talking about coming out of retirement for just one more match.
Rick, there's a couple people that keep mentioning. We expect one more match.
Aiden was on it.
Who told us about that? Tell us. They're asking. Is it going to be a one more match? Everyone's that's Richie Ward.
Oh, I get it. You guys can still free matching easily.
Mercy tax right on your midsection.
Breaking news.
I'm just trying to figure out who he's going to fight. Must be Donald Trump. If not, they're going to dig up Hulk Hogan's bones. Come on, Nature Boy, just chill. Do another song with Snoop or some shit. Just come on. Even Musk, he went from building on Mars to the moon because the moon he can build much faster. I don't know how that is, saying that nobody has been to the moon yet. It was all fake. It was all staged. So he's going to stage the moon building. It'll be shot in Arizona, black and white grainy film. And they'll be staying right there in Arizona. Well, you had to take Jeff Bezos up there with you. Take all the billionaires except Michael Jordan. That's how motherfuckers can go, especially LeBron. Take that motherfucker with you, too. Oh, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe. And check us out on Rating Plus. Orlando, Florida, I will be at the Funny Bone. February 20th and 21st. That's right, 20th and 21st. 2 shows, both nights. Cop those tickets now because two of the shows are already sold out. You know, cop them. Because they go, me go. The midget with the 4 eyes, a.k.a. Death with a Needle, a.k.a. Dr. No, because he ain't no fucking doctor, but he still be shooting children in Africa with wink, yeah, with disease. That's what he be shooting with. Anyway, this motherfucker said he'd like to apologize for hanging out with Epstein.
That email was never sent. The email is false. So I have no one is thinking was there. Just worries me. Every minute I spend with him, I regret. I apologize that I did that.
That's your friend, boy. That's why your wife left you. That cost you $450 billion. Some bitch. Also in the news, Michael Jackson. I'm not saying that this is 100% flushed out, but from my searches, Michael Jackson built Neverland to take the children that were going to Epstein Island and protect them from them predators. But they flipped the script and turned him into the predator when they the predators. Rest in peace, MJ. We'll be right back after this commercial break. White men going crazy is back in the news. Every day there's another white man going crazy. This time it's a young white man. He's 15 years old. He just felt the need to throw a live grenade into a beauty salon in France. Check it out. Welcome back to Indian with UT Straight No Chaser. Now, colonoscopy it's quite exposed, y'all, because, you know, yeah, they want to cut your ass to let you spread. See, a tumor is no more than a bag with every motherfucking disease that the body's trying to protect itself from. It puts it in a tumor. So tumor is actually good. It makes you healthy. Now they go in and cut it and let the disease just spread everywhere. That's why motherfuckers dying of cancer. They give you chemotherapy, killing everything. Radiation kills stupid motherfuckers. But that's the first thing they want to give you is some cancer. Radiation. And they talking about go get your prostate changed. They got an X-ray for your teeth. They got an X-ray for your heart. They got an X-ray for your brain scan. But no, a doctor got to stick a finger up in your ass. Something wrong with that. How come you can't X-ray my ass, motherfucker? I think you're just a freak. We'll be right back. Butts and glasses. Niggas up assholes. What? Where I'm coming to? Somebody's been watching too many Tom Cruise movies. In Italy, these motherfuckers got pulled off broad daylight heist of a cash truck. Check it out. Armored car, that's what it is.
They haven't looked anything like the team we thought they'd be this year. Still such a long way to go. They could be for a long, tumultuous.
White people. Once again, white people gone mad. They ain't gonna do nigga like rob Target. If you're gonna do 20 years for robbing Target, you might as well try some shit like that. That's all I'm saying. Up your game. Up your game. Come on. They got their lives on the line for some big lick. Y'all doing t-shirts, socks, and Target. Welcome back to the internet. We'll give it to you straight, no chaser. Yeah, them Jews. Anyway, R.B. Solomon. Yes, Solomon. Not to be confused with anybody in the Bible, because everybody in that Bible was black. This is the white Jew. This motherfucker ran an unlicensed biolab right in his house. He had deadly pathogens ready to spread them out through Los Angeles and Las Vegas. Soon as the feds caught wind of him and raided his house, he fled to Israel, like they all do. We'll be right back after this commercial break. Well, Bad Bunny was watched by 138 million people worldwide and counting, because, you know, replay and all that shit. And Kid Rock and MAGA's halftime show was it was watched by 2. Yeah, Kid Rock's mama and Donald Trump. That's it. I'm done. Yeah.
We're just about 2 minutes into the first quarter. Pass to Johnson.
Oh, let them put up hands.
Ghislaine Maxwell has sent a warning to Donald Trump after the disastrous hearing of Pam Bondi. Ghislaine essentially wrote to Donald Trump, "You better be careful what your cabinet members are saying." And Ghislaine posted this through family members who run a social media account for her. Specifically, here's what Ghislaine Maxwell had her family post after Attorney General Pam Bondi's awful hearing. So what Ghislaine Maxwell wrote: America's Attorney General told a House Judiciary Committee meeting today she hopes Ghislaine Maxwell dies in prison. This is an extraordinary thing for a nation's chief law officer to wish. It sounds less like justice than bloodlust. Ghislaine is serving a 20-year sentence, not a life term. Revenge. The Justice Department is already under scrutiny for its handling of the Epstein files. It now faces a simpler question. If the guardian of the law talks like a shock jock, what faith should the public have in the system she runs? what happened to prosecution without passion, to prosecution without prejudice. And it's interesting that Ghislaine focuses on that. Overall, Bondi was clearly involved in the cover-up of the child sex trafficking ring, which Ghislaine was convicted of, for which Epstein was charged with and convicted of earlier as well, which Donald Trump is covering up. But there was one small moment under intense cross-examination by Democratic Congresswoman Ross, who was asking Bondi about Ghislaine Maxwell being transferred from Tallahassee to this club-fed VIP facility in Texas, Camp Bryan. And you could tell that this struck a nerve with Bondi, because what I had always heard from all of my sourcing is that Bondi and Blanche were in a dispute over it, not because Bondi didn't want it to take place, but because Bondi was being blamed for it and had not coordinated it herself. She thought it was done behind her back by Blanche, and Bondi was not given notice of it before, although Bondi was someone who wanted to help Donald Trump cover up the child sex trafficking ring. So when Bondi was being cross-examined on this, Bondi was like, I don't know how the transfer happened. There's a fight right now going on behind the scenes between Bondi and Blanche. People think that Blanche is going to soon be replacing Bondi, especially after her disastrous performance as the next Attorney General. So that's part of what was going on behind the scenes. But if you look at Elaine's coded language right here, to hope it proves fatal blurs the line. The Justice Department is already under scrutiny for its handling of the Epstein files, and then it faces a simpler question. If the guardian of the law talks like a shock jock, what faith should the public have in the system she runs? I mean, by the way, screw you, Ghislaine. I mean, you're a child sex trafficker, so let me be very blunt about that. But I want to point out the coded language here. Shock jock, I also think, is directed at Trump, given his prior connections with Howard Stern and a lot of the audio that came out there. And then she's talking about the public already doesn't trust you. Remember what our deal was, Donald. Remember what Blanche told me. This is what I think is going on behind the scenes here. I'll give you more data points, but let me show you over here the questioning, the cross-exam by Congresswoman Ross to Bondi. And Bondi was able to stay on her script of basically attacking the members of Congress, ducking and dodging, but there was this moment where she let it slip. And then Ghislaine hit her right away and hit Trump right away with that statement. And to me, it's saying, stay in your lane. And this is the problem where you have the Trump regime essentially being run at this point by Ghislaine's threats. Right? Trump is compromised. He's shown weakness to Ghislaine, and she knows exactly where to poke and prod. So watch this cross-examination so you can see for yourself.
Attorney General Bondi, does a convicted sex offender like Ghislaine Maxwell deserve special treatment and prison and privileges in prison? Yes or no?
Let me be crystal clear on this. No. And let me keep going. No, let me keep going.
Perfect. Well,
I did not know she was transferred.
I asked you yes or no.
She was not transferred to a lower
Mr. Chairman,
level.
please stop the clock and remind the witness of the rules. One rule
And
needs to
I'm
understand.
glad that we're agreeing. So when we're agreeing, we can move on to some other things. But I want you to know that every time she does get these perks, and it's been publicly reported, that the folks she's abused, the survivors who are sitting here, they see themselves as being denied justice. They feel re-traumatized. And I'm glad that we agree on that. But she should not be in that prison. And she needs to be moved back to a maximum security prison as soon as possible. But what she has told another committee here is that she won't cooperate with them unless she gets clemency from Donald Trump. It's just crazy to consider that she can be wielding this kind of influence within the administration. But that begs the question, who ordered her to be transferred to the minimum security prison that she was ineligible for? Who signed off on the special privileges? Was it Mr. Blanche? Was it one of your other subordinates? So please, can you tell us who sent her there, since you don't agree she should be there?
I said I do not agree she should receive special treatment. She was transferred, I learned after the fact, to the same level facility, and that is a question for the Bureau of Prisons. I was not involved in that at all. The same level facility, I don't know why, but, instead of talking about Ghislaine Maxwell, who hopefully will die in prison, I have talking about Irina Zarutska.
I have a couple of
died on a subway.
And I have
you talk about that.
I have been talking about it and actually helping with these issues. But we're going to move back to you.
I bet we are.
Yes, of course, because you're here to testify. That's what the whole point of this endeavor is. So of course we're moving back to you. It is all about you.
Welcome to Playgama, where games come to life. Sick of the same old game? Level up your fun. Dive into Playgama, your world of epic battles and total freedom. Love racing, building, fighting, exploring? We've got it all. Free to start. New games every week. Play solo or squad up with friends. No download. Just tap, play, and go. So what are you waiting for? Fun, skills, and show the world what you've got. Playgama. Game on. Anytime. Anywhere.
Dishes to Johnson. Mark for three. It's good with the assist that time from Johnson.
Now, file your own taxes for free in the Credit Karma app by February 28th. If you didn't file with TurboTax last year, file free now.
Now, of course, this follows the statement by Ghislaine's lawyer, David Oscar Marcus, what he said at her deposition where she invoked the Fifth, remember? He goes on and says, but if you grant her clemency, Donald Trump, she will exonerate you. She can testify today. Sure, she talked to Todd Blanche and said what you wanted, Donald, remember? Now just grant her clemency and she'll bring it home for you, Donald. In my opinion, that's the coded language. I'm just giving you my opinion, but you can disagree, right? We're all entitled to our First Amendment opinion speech. But I think that's what Ghislaine was saying. Bring it home, Donald. And she likes Blanche, doesn't like Bondi, even though Bondi's playing to an audience of one with Donald Trump to cover up the child sex trafficking ring, while they're competing, Blanche and Bondi, for who can cover up the child sex trafficking ring better for Donald. Like, do you see what's going on behind the scenes? And I'll give you this example right here. When Democratic Congress member, this is one of the types of things that Ghislaine can actually reveal. And hopefully we get this information anyway. But Congressmember Goldman, when he went to the DOJ special facility where they have the unredacted Epstein files, which are being unlawfully withheld, there are documents that Epstein forwarded to Ghislaine, so she knows all about this. And it's obvious if these were forwarded to her in 2009, she was lying through her teeth when she spoke to Todd Blanche. I don't know anything about Donald Trump. You knew in very detail what was going on. But this email, I believe, shows Donald Trump's lawyers speaking with Epstein lawyers, showing that Epstein was never banned from Mar-a-Lago. He was never a member to begin with. He was always a guest and a friend of Donald Trump. And the DOJ is withholding this document. It's a perfect example to protect Donald Trump under a claim of privilege. This is, I think, there's a lot of people talking about documents. This is the most important one. And Ghislaine knows that this document and many more like this. So what her warning is to Donald Trump, the public already doesn't trust this process. So we know that she's an absolute liar and you can't trust anything she says, and she's a convicted sex trafficker. But what she could do is give a roadmap where to find documents that are being withheld right now, which she knows exist, like this one right here. And then you can corroborate it at least with a document. Watch this exchange between Goldman and Bondi when Bondi's like, oh, this information about Trump is privileged. It's being with what are you talking about? It's privilege, right? Nuts. Here, play this clip.
I also found an email that I have right here from Jeffrey Epstein to Ghislaine Maxwell that was unredacted. and it included notes of statements that Donald Trump made about his prior relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Now, there is no reason for this to be hidden from the American people. There is no privilege, there is no attorney-client privilege, and I see you're checking with your staff, and I can assure you, staff, this is not under attorney-client privilege because it was sent from Jeffrey Epstein to Ghislaine Maxwell. Will you commit to publicly providing the unredacted version of this so that the American people can understand the extent of Donald Trump's lies about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein?
You're about as good of a lawyer today as you were when you tried to impeach President Trump in 2016. Have you apologized for that in 2019?
So, will you unredact this? Will you unredact this?
Counsel on that. Privileged.
I'm asking you, will you unredact this?
Privileged.
Privileged, of course. I look forward to discussing this more.
Lately, everyone's trying to clean up their habits, myself included, and honestly, having one less drink has never felt easier. Instead of pouring a cocktail, I've been reaching for Sol's out-of-office drinks and gummies. Same relaxing vibe, zero alcohol, zero hangover. Go to GetSol.com and use the what the correct script is that Bondi screwed up the script. The script is, if you're asked about clemency or moving Ghislaine Maxwell, you're just supposed to say, in the Trump regime, I can't really answer. We're moving on. I can't answer that, right? I mean, you had Caroline Levitt 2 days ago when she was asked about this, said, is the president going to rule out a pardon? Oh, this isn't even something we talk about. That's the talking point. That, for that one moment, Bondi missed here. Play this clip.
Maxwell, is the president going to rule out a in her testimony, deposition yesterday, her legal team seems to be making a case again, this is not something I've discussed with the president recently because, frankly, it's not a priority. He's focused on many of the issues that the American people are dealing with and providing solutions to those issues. So I haven't spoken with him recently. Last time we did speak about it, he said it's not something he's considering or thinking about. Go ahead, Blue. Thanks, Secretary Lutnick today was testifying on the Hill.
And look, hey, this is Matt with Rock Pest Control, and today I'm just going to go over the prep sheet for bedbug heat treatment. So here's a few things. So on the top section, items that need to be removed. 1, wax candles, sensory packs, crayons, anything containing wax that might melt. We need to take that out, put it in the fridge so we aren't making a mess. I have seen a lot of candles disappear. Chocolate, candies, gummy, vitamins, anything like that. Need to remove those, put them in the fridge, otherwise they turn into one ball. House plants and pets. All pets need to be out. All plants need to be out or they will die. Wooden musical instruments like guitars, violins, they will tend to warp with the heat, so get those out. Now, if those are previously in...
Look, James Comer understood the talking point. Play this clip.
Mr. Chairman, quick question. What are your thoughts about Ghislaine Maxwell's lawyer saying she gets clemency to testify before she testifies?
Well, I don't know. Initially, she said a month ago that she would testify if we granted her immunity on the Oversight Committee. And we discussed that after we met with the survivors. They didn't support that, so we never considered that. So this was something new today. Obviously, that's not for me to decide. That's for the president's side.
Thank you. Congressmember Cole understood the talking point. Play this clip.
Mr. Chairman, should Ghislaine Maxwell get clemency to testify? I'm sorry? Should Ghislaine Maxwell get clemency to testify?
Oh, I have no earthly idea.
Okay. Do you have any on DHS funding?
Don't know yet. I mean, we passed the bill. We're still waiting on the Senate to decide.
Okay.
It's open to the proposal forms that Democrats put out.
Congresswoman Maliotakis understood the talking point. Play this clip.
Should Ghislaine Maxwell get clemency to testify?
Sorry. Here is Caroline Levitt saying, we're moving on from Epstein. We're not talking about it anymore.
And that remains true. And this call, if it did happen, corroborates exactly what President Trump has said from the beginning. And I'm sure many of you, when you read that alleged FBI report, probably thought to yourself, wow, this really cracks our narrative that we've been trying to push about this president for many years. So we're moving on from that. Great.
You're moving on? Really? You're just moving on? And by the way, folks, even right-wing podcasters like Andrew Scholes, they realize what's going on. Watch what Scholes says about Ghislaine Maxwell wanting clemency. Play this clip.
Ghislaine speaks with Trump's former lawyer, and then all of a sudden now she's in a nice cushy place, and all of a sudden she's pleading the fifth.
And she's saying,
that's weird.
If you let me out.
She says if he gives me immunity or clemency, is that the word? What's the difference between clemency and immunity?
The clemency, you take away the charges. Immunity is just like...
you still have the charges, but anything I say can't be used against me. Got it. Okay, so she wants clemency to clear Trump's name. And it's like, well, if his name was clear, why do you need clemency? Got it. Okay, but like to me, like, is she shrewd enough to indict him that way? Like, is she smart enough to go, yeah, I'll clear Trump if you give me clemency? Well, if he's clear, why are you even putting that on the table?
That's...
Oh, hey, sir.
She doesn't have to because her attorneys are meeting with her being like, hey, just say this. You know what I mean? Like, you have enough smart people working on her behest to be like, hey, here's what you're going to say in order to put pressure on the right people.
And also, you have Scholes saying, how powerful are the people that Trump is trying to protect? We know it's obvious to me, to Scholes, to anybody, no matter where you stand, right, left, center, independent, left, up, down, purple, green, red, blue. It's obvious. Watch what Scholes says.
So how powerful are the people that Trump is protecting? Or does Epstein or the powers that be have incriminating evidence on him prior to 2005? Evidence of him doing any, horrible fucking things, where he's willing to go down with the ship instead of just exposing it. Because if he did stop being friends with him, and he was sure that they didn't have anything, knowing Trump, wouldn't he just sell everyone else down the river?
That's what I'm saying. Even Tim Pool. Here's what Tim Pool had to say. Play this clip.
I didn't cut Trump any slack. Now that we know that they've covered up the co-conspirator documents, there's a document saying that they were investigating co-conspirators Epstein. There's photos and videos of minors and children. Dan Bongino was like, look, a lot of these things were hearsay and, fake tips that were uncorroborated. All of that is true. But there's still no excuse for them not exposing these deep, corrupt pedos. Like, I can understand Bill Gates didn't do anything criminal. If it is true that he got an STD from Russian hookers and gave it to his wife on accident, that's not illegal. He got divorced. I can understand why it's embarrassing. And I can respect someone saying, please don't release that email. It's not material to anybody. It's just internal drama that's gross and embarrassing.
Yeah.
But there's other stuff in there, like that's already being brought up, that I would say is shocking to the conscience that Trump called it a hoax.
And then I'll leave you with Congressmember Walkinshaw said the following about Trump's view on clemency, about Ghislaine, and this again, this is why Ghislaine made that post. Because when she heard, she was good with everything else Bondi said, but that one moment, Ghislaine's reasserting herself and saying, Donald, get Blanche to be the AG. Donald, and trust me, that coded message is being sent. Let's play the clip of Democratic Congressmember Walkinshaw. Let's play it.
Ghislaine Maxwell is a monster. She facilitated, aided, and abetted Epstein's crimes, engaged in those crimes. She was the enforcer who threatened the victims and the survivors of those crimes. And today we looked into the eyes of that monster in the deposition. What we did not get were any substantive answers to the questions that were asked that would advance our investigation, to help us learn who were the other men involved in these crimes, to help us learn who were the others who knew about these crimes, to help us learn what exactly was said between Todd Blanche and Ghislaine Maxwell that led her to be transferred to a minimum security prison. What we did get was another episode in her long-running campaign for clemency from President Trump.
And President Trump could end that today. He could rule out clemency for Ghislaine Maxwell, the monster. He could rule out a pardon for Ghislaine Maxwell, the monster. The question for all of us today is why hasn't he done that, and why won't he do that?
Well, there you have it. Let me know what you all think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million. Thanks, everybody, for watching.
New Midas merch. Head to store.midastouch.com today and get yourself the best pro-democracy gear and show your support. That's store.midastouch.com.
This one has 1, 2, 1 over.
This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Democratic lawmakers sparred with Attorney General Bondi over the Justice Department's handling of the Epstein file.
So Elon Musk has been trending in the headlines again, and as y'all know, I am on a journey to become the biggest Elon Musk hater. With that being said, anytime there's a chance to hate on this nigga, I'm gonna do it. So Elon Musk made a tweet, right? It got over 600,000 likes, went crazy viral. Whoever said money can't buy happiness really knew what they were talking about with a sad emoji. Now, while that may be the case, Elon, we don't want to hear that shit from you. In fact, if you feeling that way, give your money away. Give half of it away. You will be straight. Give 799 billion away. You will still have $1 billion left. They was absolutely destroying him in these goddamn replies, though. Give it away then and make a difference for good. Or shut up, you pathetic, annoying, spoiled, depressed. Damn, John going off on rich people convincing poor people that money can't buy happiness. So it's like, Elon, yeah, he has all this money, but it don't mean nothing. I think he got like 12 different baby mamas, 12 different kids, no family. He racist, a PDF, racist again. Shit, his dad a registered pedophile.
I can't stand this nigga. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's not the same WWF. It's not like I just got rap beef with this nigga. I don't like this little nigga. You know what I'm saying? For pretending so much. It makes me sick.
So this is a tragic story, man. 34-year-old Maxwell Anderson found guilty on all charges of killing, dismembering, and scattering the body parts of a 19-year-old college student, Sadie Robinson, on their first date. Oh my goodness. And you see, this is the suspect, white man, did it to a black woman. Rest in peace to this young lady, man. This is, oh my goodness, bro. We live in a very evil world. Now, I showed y'all this story to bring up a point, right? If you use the Twitter app, every now and then you'll see Elon Musk quote repost a tweet of a black man harming a white woman or a white man. Someone quote retweeted saying, Elon Musk will never share this story the same way he shares when the female victim is white. Exactly. This ended up getting over 85,000 views, and like, we all see this shit. This is another story, y'all. Breaking. MAGA dad shot and killed his daughter after argument about Trump. What in the like, y'all be dick riding too much. You gonna dick ride a man you never met over your own book? Like, that is... This is more information about the story. It says, during the heated debate, Lucy Harrison, the woman in question, asked her father, how would you feel if she were, y'all see the word, according to her boyfriend. Her father, Chris, replied that he had 2 daughters who lived with him, so it wouldn't bother him so much. What? According to her boyfriend, Lucy frequently got into debates over gun rights with her father. Before he went to go to the airport with her boyfriend, Chris took Lucy to the ground floor bedroom, and a gunshot sounded 15 seconds later. And I just got news of these men when they commit these type of acts. The white man. Like, a white man can kill his whole family, and this would be the fucking picture, bro. But oh my, it be little shit like that, but I'm tripping. I be playing a race card, bro. No. Someone ended up quote tweeting this saying, Elon if the dad was black. Concerning. Literally, bro, everybody see this shit. This is another story, bro, and this has all happened in the past couple of days. What is going on? Creep charged after doing something to the body of missing Indiana teen Haley Busby in Ohio. Once again, people are peeping. Elon that this was a black man. Concerning. Over 100,000 likes. Another quote tweet. Interesting. Why isn't every right-winger talking about this? Why haven't they passed along her name? Why aren't they saying we can't coexist with the white people? I say this all the time, but they do not care about the victims. They don't care about
these white women the way they say they do. It's all about the narrative that comes from that story. The whole situation with that young lady on the train in North Carolina, that was tragic. I don't condone that shit in no type of way. But the thing is, the man who did that crime, he got punished. He went to jail. They even considered the death penalty for him. The young lady ended up getting a butterfly named after her, a whole day named after her. She got all of the things that came with it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like she got justice. But let's say a black woman gets killed, like, you know, Sonya Massey or Breonna Taylor. These women get killed and shit, justice can't even get done. The killer can't even go to jail. If a black man harms a white woman, best believe he's getting that book thrown at him. I'ma always shout out this Twitter page right here, man, because he be on their ass. And he tells stories that you won't see a lot of the media talk about. It says breaking husband charged with brutally, you know, wedding his 22-year-old wife and daughter. You know what I'm saying? We got breaking 67-year-old Lyle Sanders arrested after cops discovered 20,000, man. I didn't even know about this. So it was a mass shooting in British Columbia, Canada. It says mass shooter shot 35 people at Tumbler Ridge Secondary School. One of the deadliest in the nation has been identified as 17-year-old Jesse Strang. I didn't even know about this story, bro. This is crazy. This isn't a video of me trying to target white people, but I just want to show y'all that any type of narrative that wants to be pushed can be pushed. I bring these examples up just to show you the utter hypocrisy. People like Elon Musk use their platform to spread division and spread all this racist rhetoric, while the real problem is him, rich people like him, because they know if all of us come to the same terms and we really groups together and see, okay, it's not the black people, it's not the immigrants, it's not the gay people, it's really the rich people in power that are making our lives miserable. We'll come together and take the system down. But that is why I despise Elon Musk so much. Elon Musk is a billionaire, and the behavior that he shows is something that you would see from a fucking lonely white man living in this small basement that's, you know, basically broke. Like, he could literally be trying to go to space, find a cure to cancer, do all this crazy shit, but he is being racist. His main energy on Twitter is spreading the whole theory that white people are, you know, going extinct. He spreads that type of rhetoric all the time. Nonsense. So yes, bro, I am the biggest Elon Musk hater. And anytime I have a chance to hate on this nigga, best believe I'm gonna hate on him. And y'all should too. He is a piece of shit. Do not drive his cars, especially if you black. Stop buying this nigga's cars, bro. Y'all hate. Oh my God, black people. I see so many black people in Teslas thinking that shit cool. No, he don't like you. Stop spending your money with him. What the fuck is wrong with y'all?
Was Elon Musk's brother having a gay relationship with Jeffrey Epstein? Let's talk about it, because this email is incredibly damning and deeply disturbing.
This is very, this is just out of the ordinary. What? Elon? And first off, shout out to the LGBT community, man. I love y'all. There's nothing wrong with being gay, but this is crazy, right? Let's see what it's talking about.
So up top, that's Kimball Musk, Elon Musk's blood brother. And I'm going to make a whole nother video about this, but Kimball was extremely close to Jeffrey Epstein. And
So the dad is a PDFer. Elon Musk, we know he won. He was attempting to be one. And then the brother. Damn, bro. Destroy the whole bloodline. Set fire to the Musk bloodline ASAP. No Rocky.
Rocky really close. But we have to examine this email. So this email was released by the DOJ. You can find this in the Epstein files. I'm just going to read this to you in full. April 26, 2013, Kimball Musk writes to Jeffrey Epstein, "Hey, sorry I was in such a bummed out mood last night. The load of everything around me has been so intense and seems to just get bigger. Yesterday was super sad losing Manhattan, frowny face. It's still soon for Jen, and that causes me stress. I have the awful insanity of Kayla. How that is going to affect Stella terrifies me every minute. And now I have my sister living with me. I don't think I'm being very fair to you as well, and it is weighing me down. I want to have time for you, but at the end of each day, I just want to pass out. And then I don't sleep. It's a wonderful routine. Winky face. We know how much we like each other, but I am just not able to do a real relationship right now. Would you be up for going back a step to just dating?"
These niggas was really in a relationship. What? And why are y'all niggas texting through email, bro? I don't got phones.
To break the third wall here, this is between Kimball Musk sent directly to Jeffrey Epstein. Would you be up for going back a step to just dating? He's saying this to Jeffrey Epstein. But Kimball continues writing, "We would see each other on weekends when we can and focus it on fun stuff. Bringing you into my drama can't be fun for you, and it isn't healthy for me either. I can tell you were sad that you couldn't join me in Boulder, but honestly, I don't think I can handle staying relaxed with you in town. Thoughts? XOXO.
Hey.
We have some quality time together. Smile. Okay. So this email came from
Y'all saw moving your ass.
Jeffrey Epstein. But what does this really mean? Well, we know based on some of the emails and the messages found within the emails that Kimball Musk was set up with women through Jeffrey Epstein.